Today I am in my dark room. Welcome to my dark room. I don't get to come here as often as I'd like, but I hope to change that with really what brings me here is film developing and framing, things of that nature. But I'm here today to do some film developing. Yesterday I did a photo shoot with Sally, my 8x10 view camera. I have only shot 2 sheets of film through her prior to yesterday's shoot, where I shot 4 sheets of film. Wait a minute, I did shoot 2 sheets on another occasion and I left the lens open, so they were black. It was a big disappointment, but I learned from that. We learn from our mistakes the best. So anyway, today I'm here and I've got 4 sheets of 8x10 film to develop. And what I'm going to do is just kind of show you a little bit about my gear here that I have to do this. So this is a deep tank. I only have 1 of these. I really need 3, but 1 will do. Then I'm going to use trays for the stop and the fix. And this is the tank that holds, these are the film holders. And I slip my sheet film into this film holder, which then allows me to develop it in the dark. I'm doing this in the dark. I'm going to tap, tap, back in, tap, back in. And I do that once every minute. And I'm going to be doing my film today at 9.5 minutes. And so that is how you do that. Then when I get to this point, I'm going to just, well, that's going to be, I think I need a bigger tray. So I'm going to get some bigger trays because these have to fit in it. And this is the first time I've ever used these as well. So I'm going to get bigger trays so that all of these will fit and we'll be able to stop properly and fix properly. And so that's it for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to develop 1 sheet so that I can check my development time versus my exposure and make sure that I have a good negative and adjust accordingly. If it looks really good, then I'm going to do the other 3. Rather than kind of felt a little lazy day and thought I'll just do all 4. But if I mess that up, then I mess up all my film. So I'm not going to do that today. So I'm going to get busy and I will be back as I get rolling. I won't be able to show you while I'm developing because it will be pitch black in here, but I will come back and show you the chemicals that I use and the measuring and the temperature and all of that. So be right back. Okay, so I have bigger trays. I now have these because I need to fit 4 film holders in there. So I've got 1 tray that's just filled with water. I've always just used water. I've never really used stop bath when it comes to film. I don't know why, but just always seemed to work for me. And then my fixer is going to go in here. So this is my fixer, and I'm just going to fill it up because it's going to be dark. So I want to make sure that it's covering all of my film holders so that it gets fixed properly. So I'm gonna really fill this. There we go. Okay. Now this is where my developer is going to go. And this is D76, and I develop with it straight. I develop at 68 degrees, and I reuse my developer. This is a little trick that my dad taught me. My dad was a photojournalist, and he worked at a newspaper, several newspapers, and they learned to reuse developer. And what they found is that you have to increase your times, your development time, but that it just creates the most beautiful, luminous negatives because of all the silver that stays in the developer. So I've just always done it and been very happy with it, and just have to increase the development time with so many sheets or rolls that you put through it. So I've already increased my development time by 30% based on what I have developed with this so far. So anyway, I'm going to just give it a little jostle here to get that silver going around. And I'm going to fill my tank. This developer's a, oh, I hope it's enough to fill this tank. I might actually have to make more. See, because I haven't used this before, so I don't know. I think I might have just enough. Yeah, I think it's a gallon tank. So, oh yeah, I'm just right. Wow. Okay, I'm glad I don't have to make more. Okay, so that's full. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check my temperature because I want 68 degrees. It's pretty important that the temperature is right. And it's at 70 just on its own. So what I do, not saying this is the right way, but what I do is I just stick a couple of ice cubes in there to get the temperature to 68. And yes, I know it melts and it waters it down just a little bit, but I'm increasing my development time, so it's going to be just fine. So I'm exactly at 70. I just need to add some ice. And so I'm going to get that all prepared and then get my first sheet developed, and then I will be back with you, and we'll see how it looks and see what I need to do from there for the other 3 sheets. Be back soon. Okay, I know it's black. I'm getting ready to turn on the light. I've been in the fixer for a few minutes, so I'm just going to trust that it is good. Ooh, how exciting. Okay, so, wow, looking at my film, I'm going to flip the camera around now. If I can figure out how to do that. Well, I'm going to have to turn it off and then I'm going to flip it around. But one thing that I'm seeing here, mistake on my part, in my lack of experience with my camera. Not a huge deal, but I'll fix it the next time. I didn't put my film holder all the way down, so there's about that much of the negative that didn't get exposed. So that's just user error, inexperience error with the camera. But other than that, the negative looks good. I'll be right back when I flip my camera. Okay. Here is my negative. It looks pretty good to me. Now I'm going to stick my hand in the fixer, which I really don't like to do this. But I want to just hold it up so you can see. You can see my little gap there that I was talking about. But overall, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. It actually looks about right. I knew that wall in the back was a very light purple, which would come out of gray. It looks a teeny bit flat, the negative, and that's probably because, haha, I have a confession. The developer is about a year old. Normally, I would not use that if I was doing something for a client, but for myself, this is just experimentation with this new camera, so I was willing to take that chance, although I know that once I scan this negative into my computer, I can fix all those things, so I'm not really that concerned. So I'm over here now. This is my, oh, there goes my timer. Turn that off. Okay, I'm going to set this for, I actually decided at the last minute to go 10.5 minutes instead of 9.5. So I think I'm going to just go straight to 11 minutes for the next 3, just to give it a little bit more. So now what I've got to do, I've got 1 sheet developed, I have 3 more to go, and I will get these sheets done, and we'll be on from there. All right, I'll be back. Okay, So I've developed my other 3 sheets, and they look, I mean, there's something there. So I'm just in the last little bit of the fixer here, and I'll hold them up. Ooh, that one fell out. That's okay. I'm looking at my film here, and it's just got a little bit more density, which is good. I just wanted a little bit more in those shadows on the shadow side of her face. And so I'm very happy with the film, and I know that I can do a lot with this in my computer once I get it scanned in, which is a good thing. So now I'm just going to wash this now. It has to wash for about 15 minutes is about what I do. And then we will move on to the scanning, editing process. So this might be a 3-part series here. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope that you learned something. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. You can go on my website, erikamasterson.com, and you can email me through that. So, and I wanted to just encourage you, don't be afraid to develop film. If you've always wanted to develop film, I mean, it doesn't have to be 8x10. You can start out with roll film. 4x5 is much easier. Even if you don't have a dark room like this, 4x5, I did that in my bathroom for the longest time. I'll show you. This is the tank for 4x5. I mean, I have 3 of these. They fit right on my bathroom counter, and I just had to make it dark, and I mean, that can be done at home, no problem. 8x10 is a little trickier because if I had 3 of these, I could do it at home. I really could. But I'm very blessed that I have this sink and the water like this, but if I really needed to do it, I could do it at home if I didn't have this. So anyway, just be encouraged, and I'll see you soon.